I want to ask you about one part of the book. When you talk about on your eye black, when you wrote 3:16 from the Bible, can you tell the people about the uncanny coincidence that happened in a press conference a few years later?
Yeah, well, we were playing for the national championship in college on January 8th, 2009, and I decided to wear John 3:16 under my eyes, and during the game, 94 million people Googled John 3:16, and it was a pretty cool moment. Well, exactly 3 years later, we happened to be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round of the playoffs when I was with the Denver Broncos, and I didn't even know that it was exactly 3 years later. It was January 8th, 2012, exactly 3 years later to the day. I just went out there and tried to do whatever I could to win a playoff game. And afterwards, I'm going into the press conference because I love talking to the media. And our PR guy jumps in front of me, says, "Timmy, did you realize what happened?" I was like, "Yeah, we just beat the Steelers. We're going to play the Patriots." He was like, "No, did you realize what happened?" I was like, "All right, Patrick, what's up?" He said, "It's exactly 3 years later from the day that you wore John 3:16 under your eyes." I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." He said, "No, I don't think you realize what happened. During the game, you threw for 316 yards. Your yards per rush were 3.16. Your yards per completion were 31.6. The ratings for the game were 31.6. And the time of possession was 31.6. And during the game, 90 million people had already Googled John 3:16, and it was the #1 trending thing on Facebook and Twitter. And a lot of people will say, it's coincidence. I say, big God.